guys, welcome back to my channel Girls Books and Bites. My name is Mohita and I make food and book related videos on this channel. Today I am slightly in a very meh mood, so I thought I'd also give you a meh list of books. So meh indicates books that are entertaining, fun, slightly stupid, a little bit silly, but at the same time they're kind of a guilty pleasure for me, and I really love reading such books, especially in the monsoon. It's very beautiful outside, it's romantic, so I really crave for some nice rom-com books that don't really have any depth as such in them but have a great entertainment value, and I thought I will make a list of such books for you too for this monsoon. I am going to talk to you while having some garma garam coffee. So this actually says ek chini here in Devanagari, and this is ek chini. Absolutely politically incorrect, and I love it. So the very first book that I want to suggest in this genre is Geekorella. Geekorella is a contemporary twist on, of course, Cinderella. It's like a modern Cinderella tale where the main protagonist who plays the part of Cinderella, I think her name is Danielle, and everybody calls her Elle. She is this geek and part of this huge fandom. She's this big fan of a Star Wars or a Star Trek kind of series, and which is going to be remade into a movie, and the actor who is going to play the main protagonist of Starfield, that's the TV show or the movie which is now going to happen, is basically our Prince Charming. Now here's the thing, I wouldn't say that the romance developed in this book is the best. Like, it's good, it's really entertaining, but I would have liked them to explore it more. They did not have as much screen time together as I would have wanted them to. But on second thoughts, Cinderella isn't about Prince Charming, it is about Cinderella herself and how she develops as a character. I absolutely loved the friendship between Cinderella and her best friend. I just loved them together, and it's very entertaining. Also, I think this is the kind of book that you would want to hear on a travel, because not a lot of attention is needed. It's kind of predictable, but it has a lot of twists and turns, and it's basically a lot of fun to read. Now the second book that I'm going to suggest is a book that I completed merely a few hours ago. This one, kids, stay away from this at all costs. This one is called Storm and Fury. If you are a supernatural fan, then you're definitely going to enjoy the premise of this book. I enjoyed every single minute. I listened to the audiobook and I enjoyed every single minute of this one. It is narrated by one single person, and oh my god, she is massively talented. The premise is basically, it has to do with angels and demons and gargoyles. It's an urban fantasy, so all of this story takes place within the America right now. So there is a lot of relatable talk, like the language is very millennial. It really connects with you very nicely. The romance is definitely well done. It's cheesy, of course it's cheesy. Is it predictable? Of course it is. Look, none of these books have anything unpredictable when it comes to the rom-com part of it. It's very cliche, it's very cheesy, but I love me some cheesy rom-com books from time to time, and I am not ashamed of it. The book is also full of action sequences, and the author Jennifer Armentrout has done a wonderful job of portraying them. It's really very visual. The book is also extremely atmospheric. I love the setting, I love the premise of this book. Really good to go, and I gave this book 4 stars. By the way, I gave Geekorella also 4 stars. The third book that I want to suggest falls in the mystery category. It's more like a psychological paranormal mystery category and has a ton of steamy romance as well. This one follows the classic trope of enemy to lovers trope, and I enjoy it at all times. This is written by Varsha Dikshit, and the premise is actually quite interesting. So there is this serial killer at work, and our main protagonist, who is a female, I forgot her name, she can kind of talk to spirits or ghosts or people who have died in really unfortunate circumstances, and so she helps in finding out who the serial killer is and gets roped into some really nasty stuff, of course. Also, this book happens in Goa, so that's fun. It's fast paced, it's fun, it's predictable. I have given this book 3.75 stars. The next book that I want to suggest, I think I'm on number 4. This is a very sweet book. This one is called From Lukov with Love. This one is written by Mariana Zapata. Can we take a moment and admire the name Lukov? Lukov. What we see in this book are our 2 main protagonists are figure skaters. and I was sold. I was just sold at that. Again, this one follows my all-time favorite trope, that is the hate to love trope. What happens is these two protagonists, the male figure skater and the female figure skater, are somehow forced into pairing up for this figure skating competition. They end up, the circumstances are such that of course they don't have a choice but to pair up together and enter for this competition or something like that. I don't remember really well, and it is written so well, like you can really feel their pain whenever they fall, whenever they fail, and it's really, really amazing to read. I love both the characters. The guy is very sweet, very, very caring, and I really like their chemistry. Like, they were so good together. They were so good together. Like, I know, of course, it was predictable. Of course, they were going to end up together. But even so, I enjoyed every single moment of this book. It was fantastic. I gave this book 4 stars. The next book that I want to suggest is The Hating Game. This one is very, very popular and for all the right reasons. And this one is an office romance. I actually kind of enjoy office romances, but for me, it really depends. Sometimes they can also get boring, but office romance is for me like the most lazy plotline where you want to write a rom-com. Two involved in the romance get to meet every day. It's like the laziest plot device. That's the only reason why I really enjoyed Hating Game. In fact, I read this a very long time ago, and back then I enjoyed it a lot. But then afterwards I read all these books and I realized that, hey, you know what? Rom-coms, even though predictable and cheesy, can still come with a lot of plot twists and turns and can be done so much better. So I gave The Hating Game 3.75 stars. Well done, but could have been better. The next book that I want to suggest is again very, very different. This one is called I Owe You One, and this is written by Sophie Kinsella. Again, 100 marks to the setting, 100 marks to the way the main protagonists are basically the two lovers, or rather potential lovers, end up meeting. It's very, very cutely done. It's really sweet. The thing is, in this book though, I would say that the actual romance part is for about 30%, and there is a lot of family dynamics and family drama, and our main girl Fixie finding her self-confidence, that is for about 70%. So in that format, in that sense, I think I could draw a comparison between I Owe You One and Geek, but of course the story is very, very different. Fixie is the main character. Fixie and her siblings and her mom together basically have this shop. Everything is happening around this shop, and I love stories that talk of shops or stores that are owned by a family for ages and generations. Any kind of book that surrounds the idea of a shop or a store or a family run inn or something like that, I am there to read that book. And I like the dialogues. I also love the narration. Again, this one was also an audiobook for me, so I ended up giving I Owe You One also 4 stars. So yeah, that was my list of some fun-filled, cheesy, very, very obvious but highly entertaining rom-com books. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. By the way, if you plan to buy any of these books, physical copies of these books, then make sure to check out the description box and use my Amazon affiliate links. By the way, one question that I wanted to ask you is this. There are so many people for both book and food related videos that have been asking me to give you like sort of tips on how to improve your English. I don't know, should I make such a video? Like, do you really want such a video? If you do, then the next video will be that video. Alright, so I will see you again next week, and if you haven't already followed me on Instagram, go do that. That's the very first thing you should be doing. The username is down below on the screen. I will see you again next week in yet another book related video. Until next time, bye.